The Nuggets beat the Mavs 142-135 behind some big, unbelievable individual performances by Nikola Jokić and Jamal Murray. Murray finished with 53 points, and the Joker had a ridiculous 23 points, 21 rebounds, and 19 assists. It's like a different meaning to triple-double. Stephen A., what is more impressive in today's NBA, Murray's 53 or Jokic's 23, 21, 19?
Well, of course it's Jokić because it's a triple-double. The man can't jump onto a curb, and you can't stop him. I just continue to marvel at his greatness. He can't jump onto a curb, and there's nothing you can do about him. He's an exceptional passer. He's an exceptional scorer with a great feel for the game. He never cheats the game with effort, and he just wobbles up and he wobbles in and out of arenas, just destroying one piece of competition after another. There's no one that can compare with what he brings to the table. I can't say enough about him. But I also look at Jamal Murray, who I've always been a fan of. And I am telling you right now, I don't give a damn who you point to in the Western Conference. If Jamal Murray is going to give you games like that, Denver can beat anybody. You cannot summarily dismiss Denver when Jamal Murray and Jokić are clicking.
Yeah.
It has to be both of them because OKC and San Antonio are that good and the Lakers are not anything to sneeze at either. But if both of them are clicking, they can beat anybody.
Yeah, right now the Nuggets a game and a half behind the Lakers in the Western Conference. Let's go to the NCAA tournament tonight. The Sweet 16 will start. We get to see the red-hot Arkansas Razorbacks and the number one seed Arizona Wildcats go at it. Arkansas won the SEC tournament. They beat Hawaii and High Point. Arizona won the Big 12 tournament. They beat Long Island University and Utah State. 3 1 seeds will be in action this coming weekend. Which one seed should be on upset alert the most in the Sweet 16? Jay Will, what do you think?
I'm probably going to go Michigan just because I think the styles make fights here, right? And Alabama is a team that's, and I'll get into Nate Oates and my feeling about Nate Oates later, Stephen A., when we have our next topic. But I do believe the Alabama style in which they're able to flare out, shoot a ton of threes, can negate the sides of Michigan, which Michigan pummels you with their interior presence. So I believe, I watched Alabama score 17 to 18 threes against Texas Tech. Their ability to spread out all the bigs, bring you on the perimeter, and do things off the bounce. LeBaron Philon. I don't know if you ever watched this David Chappelle skit. Philon. That's the name that you need to know tonight. SA is a dude that can take over and potentially beat the number one seed in Michigan.
Wow. I get you. I'm not dismissing that. I will tell you, for me personally, it's your boys at Duke going up against St. John's. I think St. John's got a legitimate shot to take them. St. John's, again, listen, I'm telling you, I'm just, if they're able to get away with instigating a physical confrontation, Jay, and you have anybody on St. John's that can be a threat from you from three-point range, this game is going to come down to the wire. And St. John's can do it. And primarily because of the injuries that Duke has incurred, combined with the fact that the physicality that St. John's brings to the table, the coaching of a guy like Rick Pitino, who's going to try to make you use your bench. He's going to try to drive you to the point of exhaustion. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I know that Duke is the better team. They've been the better team all year, but St. John's didn't win 30 games by accident. And I think that if the officiating is going to be something to monitor, only from the standpoint of what are you going to be allowed to get away with? Is it going to be called tightly, or are they going to be allowed to play? And if they're allowed to play, obviously both teams, it could serve both teams well. But I think it'll serve St. John's better because it'll put them in a better position to push this wire to wire. And with that reality being the case, I think under those circumstances, they can end up victorious.
Okay, go ahead.
Can I say one last thing, Shay?
Yeah.
I think tonight I'm betting against the hype of Darius A-Cuff Jr. So if you're trying to sell me Darius A-Cuff stock, I'm not buying it. Not tonight. No, he's special. Could be a top 3 pick. But SA, if he beats Arizona is the best defensive team in the nation. They have a dude named Ivan Chinkinkov, who is 6'7", long, 7-foot wingspan, can literally block out. If he's able to do it tonight on this type of stage, I'm going to come on the show tomorrow. I'm just going to bow down. Like, if he's able to get it done, I'm going to bet against it tonight.
I know Calipari well enough to know he's going to call a lot of picks for screens for this brother to make sure you get that 6'7" cat off of him, no doubt about it. But Bradley and Burries are no joke either. That's a backcourt to, that's somebody. That's a tandem rather to pay attention to. So I get that, and I get what you're saying because I do think that Arizona is the elite team. I'm with you. I picked them to win the national championship, but I've seen stars ascend and take you places that you didn't think they could. And my attitude is this. You're saying you don't see that guy tonight. I have a wait and see attitude about the guy that night. I've been waiting for this matchup because I want to see if Darius Acuff Jr. is going to be the same dude we've been talking about going up against Arizona tonight. That's what I've been waiting to see, Jay, because I think that's going to cement his stature. If he's averaging 30 and 7 coming into this. Jay, if he shows up and drops 35, 36 tonight against Arizona, even in a loss, let's say, for example, it's a tight game and a play here or there decides the outcome, but Darius Acuff Jr. is balling and putting up 30-plus on these brothers, I don't think there's going to be any more question marks about who the hell he is.
So we just laid out all the games that are going up against one seeds tonight, but in terms of most intriguing Sweet 16 game, who you guys got? If you want to go back to one you already brought up, no problem. Jay, most intriguing Sweet 16 game.
I'm going to watch the Illinois game. Now, there's a lot of players in the draft, right, that we're going to end up talking about when we get closer to the NBA draft. But whenever I talk to scouts, Stephen A., it's the one thing that almost gets used a little bit against Darius Acuff Jr. Scouts love talking about positional height and size. When you think about what the league is now, you have wings 6'7", 6'8". You have guards 6'5". That's why people love names like Kingston Flemings, who's 6'4", 6'4.5". The name in this game is Keaton Wagler. Now, look, I'm not saying he is this. I think people always conflate when you say a name or you say this guy gives you shades of this guy. People at home assume that he is that guy. I'm not saying that. But there are shades of Stephen Curry with the way Keaton Wagler shoots the rock from anywhere on the court for Illinois. And they get up a lot of points in a hurry. And positional size-wise, he's 6'6", 6'7". And he can shoot that ball from anywhere. So I think you're going to see a very dynamic game with the way Illinois is able to play. And that's a game I'll keep my eye on.
Illinois against Houston.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you for that. But I'm going back to Arkansas, Arizona. I don't give a damn about anything compared to what I care about with this game. I want to see what Darius Acuff Jr. is going to do against Arizona. That's what I want to see. Most people got Arizona winning the national championship. Well, what you going to do about it, Arkansas? And let me tell you something. Darius Acuff Jr. ain't the only reason. That's the biggest reason for the intrigue as far as I'm concerned, seeing what he's going to do. But I don't want to use the word put on blast. I've known John Calipari 30 years. I was covering Temple as a beat writer for the Philadelphia Inquirer when he was at UMass with Lou Rowe and Mike Williams and Marcus Camby and all of those brothers. John Calipari and I go back a long ways. A dear friend of mine is an assistant coach on his staff, longtime assistant Bruiser Flint. He used to coach at Drexel, his assistant coach in UMass and Arkansas now, whatever. A brother I love dearly. Haven't seen in a long time, but got a lot of love for him. John Calipari, when you consider the greatness of this man in terms of being a recruiter, some of the great players that he's had playing for him at Kentucky, at Memphis, at UMass, whatever. Again, the Lou Rose, the Marcus Cambys, the Mike Williams, the Derrick Roses of the world, John Wall, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The list goes on and on and on. That's right. One championship to show for it. 0 Final Four appearances since 2015. This is John Calipari we're talking about here. And when you think about the elite coaches in college basketball in terms of their names, Krzyzewski comes to mind, Roy Williams comes to mind, Bill Self comes to mind. Jay Wright comes to mind. People like that. John Calipari has been lumped into that category by some. And I'm saying, no, I need more. The athletes that you recruit, the big-time players, yeah, a lot of them are one and done because those are the quality of cats that you get coming through your program. I need a run, bro, from John Calipari. Maybe not a national championship, but I need you back in the Final Four. I need to see that you know what, that there's, there's a culminating point. There's a fruition that comes to this all at the end. You got to get to the Final Four, man. You John Calipari. At some point in time, we all want to hear from him. We all want to get quotes from him. We all want to hear him bless us, with his soliloquies about the state of sports and college sports and all of this other stuff. We know who the hell John Calipari is, and he deserves the praise and the acclaim. I love him to death, but I need a run. Since 2015, no, I need more than that from John Calipari. And I want to see it from him, too. So I'm intrigued by both stories, both of them.
I'm excited for Izzo and Hurley to go up against Michigan State, UConn. It's been a few years since a Big